Vacations are supposed to be a break from reality, a chance to relax, reconnect, and breathe a little easier. But the truth is, not every holiday stays a holiday. Sometimes, the most innocent getaway becomes the moment you wish you could erase forever. These are 4 real holiday trips that twisted into something dark, something so horrifying that the people who lived through them still can't fully explain what happened. If you're alone right now, you might want to turn on a light. Aisha had always dreamed of visiting the northern mountains of Pakistan during winter. Snow-covered pine trees, frozen streams, quiet mornings. It looked like paradise in photos. So, when her university friends suggested a 3-day trip to Naran, she didn't hesitate. The group rented a small wooden cabin on a hill slope. It wasn't luxurious, but it was peaceful. A single bedroom, a tiny kitchen, and a balcony overlooking the valley. The first night passed with laughter, card games, and cups of steaming chai. But on the second night, everything changed. It started with a sound, faint at first. A slow, dragging scrape across the balcony floor. Aisha noticed it while everyone else was asleep. At first, she assumed it was an animal, maybe a dog or a fox wandering around. But then the sound repeated, louder, closer. She pulled aside the curtain and froze. A figure stood on the balcony, pale, thin, hunched forward. Its arms dangled unnaturally low, and its head twitched in tiny, jerky motions, as if it had trouble holding itself upright. The snow behind it was untouched. No footprints, no signs of how it got there. Aisha stumbled back and shook her closest friend awake. But when they checked the balcony again, the figure was gone. Her friend laughed it off. Maybe you were half asleep. But Aisha knew what she saw. The rest of the night passed in silence, but Aisha couldn't shake the image. The long arms, the twitching head, the way it leaned toward the glass as if trying to listen. The next evening, heavy snowfall trapped them inside. By midnight the power cut out completely. The cabin sank into darkness. They gathered in the living room with a lantern, trying to pass the time. That was when the scratching returned. Low, deliberate. Not on the balcony this time. On the front door. One of the boys shouted, "Who's there?" No reply. The scratching grew faster, more desperate, as if something was trying to claw the door open. The cabin walls vibrated with each strike. Someone suggested calling the caretaker, but the phone showed no signal. Aisha, terrified, crawled toward the window. The front porch light, powered by a separate generator, flickered weakly, barely illuminating the snow. And then she saw it. The same figure from last night. But now, it was crawling. Its joints bent the wrong way, movements sharp and unnatural. Its long fingers carved deep trenches into the wooden door. Every few seconds, it jerked its head upward, as if sniffing the air for them. The group pushed furniture against the door. Someone whispered prayers. The pounding grew louder, more frantic. And then, silence. For a moment nobody dared breathe. Then a single tap echoed from the bedroom window, slow and rhythmic. Aisha felt her chest tighten. She turned her head toward the sound. The creature was pressed against the glass, smiling. Not a human smile, but a stretched, torn shape that split across its face. A silent scream frozen in place. The glass cracked. Everyone ran for the bathroom, the only room without windows, and barricaded themselves inside until dawn. When they finally left the cabin, the caretaker arrived, horrified at the sight of the door. The wood was shredded as if an animal had attacked it, but the caretaker shook his head. "No animal leaves marks like this," he whispered. Aisha's group cut their vacation short. But for weeks afterward, she dreamt of the smile on the other side of the glass, waiting. Daniel and his wife Mia planned a peaceful honeymoon trip to Phuket. Beaches, sunsets, seafood, a perfect escape after months of wedding stress. Their hotel was small but charming, with bright lanterns lining the walkways and rooms facing the ocean. On their second night, They booked a boat tour to visit nearby islands. The guide, an older fisherman named Tam, told them local legends on the way. Stories of spirits, drowned sailors and cursed waters. Mia loved ghost stories. Daniel hated them. As the sun dipped below the waves, Tam pointed toward an uninhabited island, a shadow rising from the water. "No one goes there after sunset," he said. "There are voices." Mia laughed. Daniel didn't. On the ride back, the boat suddenly shuddered. The engine sputtered, then died completely. They drifted in the dark, waves tapping lightly against the hull. Tam grabbed a lantern and checked the motor. That was when Mia heard it. A woman's voice. Calling her name. She turned toward the water. At first, she saw nothing but reflections. But then a shape began to rise, hair floating like seaweed, pale hands reaching upward. "Mia!" it whispered. Daniel grabbed her arm. "Back away!" But Mia felt an overwhelming pull, as if the voice wasn't calling her, but remembering her. Tam rushed back, shouting prayers. The lantern light flickered, revealing the full figure beneath the water. A woman with dark, hollow eyes and a jaw hanging loosely, as if broken. The boat jerked violently. Something slammed against the underside. Mia screamed as cold fingers brushed her ankle. Tam managed to restart the engine. The boat roared forward as the ghostly figure sank back beneath the waves. But the voice kept echoing. That night, Mia woke up gasping. Salt water pooled on the floor beneath her bed. Her hair was wet. Daniel shook her, terrified. "Mia, what happened?" She whispered one sentence. "She's still calling me." The next morning, fresh bruises appeared on Mia's ankles, shaped like fingers. They flew home early, and even now, Mia sometimes hears the ocean when there is no ocean. A whisper, voice, calling her by name. Kareem traveled to Turkey for a solo holiday trip, a break from work and stress. On his third day, he visited a historical village known for ancient underground tunnels dating back centuries. The guide warned the group to stay together. The tunnels were like a maze, and getting lost was common. Halfway through the tour, Kareem lagged behind, taking pictures. When he turned around, the group had vanished. A chill ran through the air. His flashlight flickered. "Hello," he called. Only his echo replied. He followed the winding tunnel, hoping to find the exit. Instead, he stumbled into a chamber filled with old carvings, scenes of people bowing before tall, faceless figures. Something about the carvings made his skin crawl. Then the whispering began. Blows. Circling him. Kareem spun around. A shadow slipped along the wall, stretching unnaturally long. He backed away and bumped into something solid. When he turned, a tall, faceless figure stood inches away, exactly like the carvings. Its head tilted slowly, studying him without eyes. Kareem ran. Footsteps followed. Not human footsteps. Too fast, too sharp, too uneven. He reached a fork in the tunnels. A hand grabbed his shoulder. He screamed. But it was the tour guide. "You shouldn't have gone alone," the guide whispered, trembling. "They follow wanderers." As they climbed out of the tunnels, Kareem looked back one last time. A faceless silhouette stood deep in the darkness, watching. He cut his trip short. The nightmares never did. Layla and her cousins planned a family holiday in Egypt, visiting deserts, markets, and ancient ruins. One evening, they joined a night tour of an old burial site rarely shown to tourists. The guide warned them not to wander from the group. Layla, curious, slipped behind to take pictures of an isolated chamber. Her flashlight illuminated hieroglyphics showing people kneeling before a tall figure with a jackal-like head. Then her light died. Complete darkness swallowed her. A low growl echoed through the chamber. Layla froze. The air shifted. Something walked behind her. Heart pounding, she turned on her phone flashlight. A tall shadow stretched across the far wall. Long ears, elongated snout, shoulders wider than any human. Layla backed away. The shadow moved closer. She bolted toward the exit, stumbling over stones, breath shaking. But when she reached the main chamber, the group was gone. She wasn't alone. A whisper crawled up the walls. Deep ancient voice, calling her by a name she did not recognize. Lights flickered and revealed a towering figure standing near the entrance, the jackal-headed god, its eyes glowing faintly. Layla shut her eyes and ran. When she opened them again, she found herself outside, the cold night air stinging her lungs. The guide rushed toward her. "You walked into the forbidden chamber," he said. "Some spirits follow those who disturb them." That night, Layla dreamed of the jackal figure standing at her bedside, watching, waiting. Vacations may promise joy, peace, and unforgettable memories, but sometimes the memories they leave behind are ones you wish you could bury forever. The people who submitted these stories didn't just experience fear. They survived it. And even today, long after the holidays ended, something still follows them. Something they brought back without realizing. If you've ever had a holiday experience that didn't feel quite right, be careful. You never know what might have followed you home.